Hi guys, happy Sunday. I'm here working on this kitty painting that you guys helped me pick the background color for, and I thought I'd just come on here real fast and do a little demo of how I paint the eyes and nose. If you have ever talked to me in person, you've heard me say the eyes are the most important part, and I usually leave them for last or almost last. I kind of have this rendered up to a point to where without the eyes and nose, I can't really tell what it needs anymore, what needs to be adjusted. So I'm just going to paint these in and kind of talk you through how I do that. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to check and see them. So I usually start dark to light. So this kitty has some green eyes, some light green eyes. So I start with this dark bluish green. And just kind of get everything coated in the dark color. It usually helps me see how the rest of the cat is looking at that point too, once I just get a dark layer in. And I'm going to do the eyes and nose at the same time for you guys because I usually need to give it a minute for the paint to dry in between. So that's kind of my first layer on the eyes, and then he's got a little pink nose. So we're going to start with this kind of dark, creamy, peachy color for his nose. It's probably a little warm, so I'm going to add a little bit of blue to it. Just kind of recover where I already painted. To get it looking a little better. And then we'll give that a second to dry. And so for the cat's eyes, I'm mostly using like a yellow ochre and a Prussian blue to kind of make this green. And then some white. So then I'll just kind of start laying in the midtones of the eye. Which my under is still a little wet, so you can't really see a huge difference at this point, but there's a slight shift. And then any places in the eye that are dark, I'll just leave that dark color. I'll paint next to it instead of over it. And then from there, I just kind of work my way up the value scale. So he's got some kind of whiter, light greener spots. He's also got a little bit of yellow ochre in there, so I'll kind of dab those in. It's a little light. I find that cat's eyes tend to reflect more colors than dogs sometimes. So there's a little more in them. Maybe because they're rounder. I don't know. And since my paint's still a little wet, it's kind of all blending together. So I'll give that a second and go back to the nose. Oh, that's really wet too. And I usually paint with acrylic paints because they dry fast. That's usually why most artists don't like them. They think they dry too fast, although sometimes I feel like they still don't dry fast enough. And then for the nose, it's the same process as the eyes. You just start with your darks and build to lights. And I just keep adding in colors based on my reference, which I have on an iPad that you might be able to see at the top of the screen. I'm not sure. And this piece is another piece that's going to be available at Brookside next weekend. It's going to say "That's Mine" at the top when it's done. So if you're in the Kansas City area and you don't have plans any day next weekend, it's 3 days. We'd love to see you. I've been working on a bunch of new stuff. I should have at least 5 new paintings. And then, of course, all the dogs I always have. Prints and all that good stuff. If you want to join my email list, I'll be sending out a special coupon to people that subscribe to my email list for the show. As a little extra incentive bonus for being on my list. And so now I'm just adding basically like a whiter green over the top, layers of lighter and lighter green, because this cat's eyes are pretty almost white, minty colored. This side's got a little more yellow in it. So I'll add that. Give that another second. Go back to the nose. It's just a lot of layers and a lot of back and forth. I think that corner needs to be a little smidge lighter. So we're going to go a little lighter. There. It's better. And then kind of almost a white highlight right in the middle. That pretty much finishes up the nose. So this little spot down here I missed. Just get that filled in with some paint. And then the last couple steps on the eye will just be a couple even lighter layers of this light whitish green. Kind of really gives them the dimension and the life. Adds the life to the eyes. And then I kind of got a little messy on my pupil over here, so I'm going to fix that real quick. Clean up those pupils. Just a little bit of Payne's Gray. And then add the very lightest highlight, the shine. And that's it. That kitty's done. So now I just have to add the text to this and he'll be ready to go for Brookside. I hope to see you guys there. Have a good weekend.